Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Hey, I'm modifying my RV for fun. And today we're installing gas struts. All right, so as I said in the intro, we are installing gas struts on the trailer today, and there's two places in the trailer that we are going to install those. First place is right next underneath our bed. Actually, there's a storage room underneath the bed where we normally store our paddle boards. But obviously, every time we have to access this storage space, it's a big board that we need to lift. Obviously, there's a mattress, there's a bed sheet on top and everything. It's quite heavy and doesn't stay open. Someone has to, hold it open while the other person take the stuff out of the storage. So we want to make sure that this is easier, simpler. The gas strut should keep that panel open while we are taking stuff out. So that's the first place where we want to do that modification. You see that old mattresses there. That old mattress that we had on the RV. It's like a 2-in-1 video that we're shooting at the same time that we're changing the mattress. That's the previous video on our channel. The other place that we want to install gas struts is in the bunk bed area. The lower bunk bed has a storage compartment underneath it, but it's really hardly available because we have to lift the whole bed, the whole board, because the board there have the full width of the bunk bed. So it's kind of a nightmare to go there. So I want to modify the board and install those gas struts so that it makes it easier to access that portion of the RV. So I'm going to show you what parts that I bought in order to do that. I bought everything on Amazon. So this is the kit that I bought on Amazon. Every kit comes with exactly this: 2 gas struts, the brackets, 2 kits of brackets, obviously to fix those, and some nuts here that goes on each end of the strut. The only thing it doesn't come with is screws to fix those brackets. So I'll have to find proper size screw for that. And it doesn't come with any instruction as well. Obviously, it's not rocket science, but the instructions are mostly on the product page on Amazon. There's some calculation basically to do related to the length of the strut, the size of the board that you need to lift in order to know where exactly to place those brackets so that the strut can do its job properly. So I'll make those calculations. I'll find some decent size screw for those brackets, and we'll move on to the next step. So I've done my calculation. There's actually two things to calculate, which is the position of the brackets. So the top bracket, which is represented here by CA, they say 20 to 30% of the length of the board that we have to lift. So I went with 25, which is right in the middle. My board is 26.5, which gives me 6 inches and 5/8. So that's the first position of the bracket. Lower bracket, which is represented by BC, which is actually the first measurement that we have calculated here, which is 6 inches 5/8, plus the length of the cylinder here with the bracket on top, which gives me actually 12.5. So I should be mounting that bracket at least at 19 inches and 1/8 from the top of where I'm going to be lifting. The design on the page can be confusing depending on what you're using the strut to. They're kind of designed for a panel that would open this way. Mine goes flat and open that way, so it's a bit of the same thing, but just gonna make sure that you do the calculation right. All right, so first step for us is when we're opening this, you see our stuff here, but we're going to remove. I need to add some material here in order to have something strong to screw the brackets into, because I don't want to only screw into that portion here, and I don't want to be screwing obviously on this, which is total garbage. So I am going to find some material and make it more solid. All right, so first thing that I realized is I started to build the frame on one side, and I only had like 2 screws left to put in when I realized that the measurement that I got, which was 19 inches for the longest placement of one of the brackets, well, this thing right here doesn't even do 19 inches, so that's the first thing. So we're gonna have to figure a way to put those in, and in order to get more room, using the other side, I tried mounting the bracket without having to frame everything on the frame that is already existing here. It seems to be working pretty good. It seems to be super solid with the screws that I put in. I just need to test the bracket here, find a good placement for the bracket related to that spot there. We're going to do some testing, so we're going to screw that in. If it works, I'm just going to remove the 2 screws that I put in there. There are screws in that side there, and I'm going to place a bracket the exact same way as I did on the other side. So let's try that. All right, so rain has started, so excuses the rainy noise out there if you hear anything. I installed the chock. It's working, but the only thing is, as you can see, screwing an OSB is definitely not a good option because this thing is crappy material, and we realized it on the other side because we just opened and closed it like 2 or 3 times, and the screw came right off. These were 1/2-inch screws because we didn't want to go, over and pierce to the other side. So what I've come up with as a solution is I screwed in a piece of birch plywood, just a little square there, that I screwed in from the other side of the bed, from the top of the board, and then screwed that bracket with longer screws. Instead of having 1/2-inch screws, I use 3/4 screws this time, so it's all the way in the birch plywood. This is super solid. This is no issue, and it's not, that bracket is not going anywhere. It is working. As you can see, it does put a lot of pressure when I'm trying to push down, but there's no weight on it at the moment. So I'm wondering if these are too strong. It works. It stay closed, and when I start lifting it about here, it goes all the way up and remains like that. We'll see with the mattress on what it will do, but I will do the exact same thing on the other side. I'll put that kind of a little block there. It's just like a 5-inch wide and maybe a little bit less than that. It's just some scrap piece that I had leftovers in the garage. So I'll do the same thing on the other side because this is about to be ripped off as well. So I'll make it more solid, and then we'll see how it works with the mattress on. So here you go. The chocks are installed, the struts are installed, and these are very powerful. 35-pound. Obviously, there's nothing in there. There's just the board there. Mattress will be on next, but with just a tiny lift, this thing goes up, and don't even have to put some strength on it. It's a little bit different story when I come in and close it. These put a lot of stress. These are strong. Maybe that with the weight of the mattress it will help. I won't close it with one hand. I like to put one hand there and one hand there and push on both struts at the same time. So maybe these were too strong for this needs. But we'll see with the mattress on how it will perform. So time to clean up and put the mattress on. So the other place that we want to have gas struts installed is on the bottom bunk bed. Right underneath here, that board that you see right here, there's a storage space right behind that. But obviously what you need to do in order to access it, you need to lift that board, and that board do the whole width there. So I'll need to modify that, cut the board in two, put some hinges, and try to see where we can install the gas strut. It's full of stuff right there. It's a bit of a mess, so I need to remove all of that and look at how it looks underneath. So here is the full board. Like I said, it does the full width of it, but it goes up to here. That one is another portion, another piece. So if I want to access that storage down here, I need to lift the whole thing, which is, I mean, really not convenient at all. And it's a big storage space here that we can put a lot of things. It's just a little problematic to get there. So basically what I want to do is cut the board where that support piece in the middle is, so that we only have that portion to lift, because remember, we do have a bed over this. So I mean, I don't know if this would be a better way, but no, because we have that window over here that would block us. So that's the plan, is to cut that board and make a hinges screwed on these things somewhere, so that it only like that portion that we need to lift. It will probably lift in a weird way because the mattress will be all over it, but still it will be better than trying to lift the whole thing at once in order to access this. So this is how it looks. I ripped the board in two pieces, basically to the width of that support beam here in the middle. It was a bit complicated because I needed to rip the board in place. Whatever the width of the board, it was too wide for the opening. No matter how I tried no matter how I was measuring it. So they probably put that in place and then build the top unit on top of it. So I needed to put some wood pieces underneath it just to get it up the frame, rip the pieces in two, well, actually on the line where I wanted to cut it. And now it's time to clean up, because obviously ripping that sheet there made a lot of mess. There was a lot of sawdust everywhere, so I'm going to clean that up. And then we're going to fix that board there to the frame, which is a bit of a shame because there's storage space underneath there as well, but we might end up having a door built in the trailer there to access this space to, you know, store things like barbecue or things like that. So that's going to be fixed, and this one's going to get the hinges and the gas struts. The one at the end, it's starting to rain again. The one at the end is the one covering the water heater that is just back there. I might end up in the future having like this portion fixed and this portion on hinges as well, just to make it easier to access it. But that's not in today's project, so I'm just gonna clean that up, fix this board, and then we're gonna work on this piece. Okay, so first step here is completed. The board has been split and screwed down to the frame so it doesn't move. The hinges are added. I added reinforcement, plywood reinforcement underneath the hinges on each side, just to make sure that I have enough screw length and screw strength. So this is opening like that, accessing the compartment here. You can see the reinforcement there, a little strip of plywood that the hinges is screwed into. So this is just closing just right. And the next step is to figure where the hell will I put the gas struts, because there's not a lot of framing here. It's just basically some pre-finished material, a little bit of framing here. So I'll definitely need to add something in there to be able to screw the brackets on. So I'll try to figure that out. So this is how the finished product looks. It opens without any issue. I've only put one strut on this side. Didn't put on this side because it was pretty short, pretty small material there, but we'll see how it works. I did the same thing as the other place. So I reinforced with a strip of plywood and Mounted the other bracket here on 2x4s with this screw with another 2x4 sandwiched between the frame on each side, and that 2x4 on each end is pressing against the frame there on the wall, so it's not going anywhere. And we just have to press it down and it closes perfectly. So now let's see what it does with the mattress. So just to give you an idea, with the mattress fully placed with that bedsheet cover that are wrapping around the two mattresses, if you followed along our video, you know that we've done something for the mattress for the bunk beds. I just now, with one finger, I can lift the whole board there. Obviously it lifts the mattress at the hand, but that's okay. And we have access to that storage space now. And I'm just putting my hand slightly on it to put it back down. Obviously, since the mattress is tight, I need to replace it a little bit, but no big deal. Works perfectly. So that's a good option for us for accessing the storage underneath here. So that's the first place. All right, so our second place is obviously underneath our bed. So the storage space right here, and same concept. I'm just raising with one hand, not putting any effort on it. A little bit at the end because, you know, that mattress is a little bit heavy, but it holds up the mattress and the board in place nicely, so we can take our paddle board stuff out without having, you know, trying to maintain that. And the same thing, when we don't want to close it, I just barely press on the mattress and it goes down. So pretty good added little thing to the trailer. Before it was kind of a mess. We had to hold the board. It was pretty heavy to lift as well. This is doing a perfect job for this, and now we have access at the same time underneath for the storage bay underneath the bunk beds. So I hope you enjoyed the video. That's what concludes it. If you did like the video, please press the thumbs up button to let us know. If you have any question, let us know in the comment. And if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, well, consider subscribing. It'll always help us growing that channel. And we'll see you on the next one. Ciao.